Okay, welcome everybody. The Licensing Commission meeting for October 13th is starting. And so first, adoption of the minutes of the September 8th Chelsea Licensing Commission meeting. Can I get a motion to adopt? Great. Second,
I approve.
all in favor?
Yeah.
Great, aye. Okay. Clerk's update, new business.
I just need an approval on the 3 marijuana renewal licenses that were done in September, and I forgot to put it on last month's meeting.
So we just need to approve them? So like make a motion?
Motion to approve all 3 licenses. I haven't had a problem with any of them.
Okay. Second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great, they're approved. Okay. Public hearing to consider an RFP of all kinds of alcoholic beverages, license application to El Kiosco Corporation on 212 Broadway, Chelsea.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi. Attorney Jeffrey Rosario Turco on behalf of the applicant, and I have some of the principals of the corporation here. Want to introduce yourself into the mic?
Yes, my name is Joanna Giraldo, one of the owners, manager.
My name is Jose Giraldo, and the manager non-record. I help for my daughter.
He's part of the family involved with one of the other businesses.
Yeah.
I do have the affidavit of service in terms of the 111, I think, abutters. So, may I approach?
Thank you.
These may look like familiar faces. We're up
Yes.
here, I think, in May. They purchased the location at 212, or they have a lease. They purchased the business, converted it from the pasta box to a new business. At the time, they purchased and transferred a beer and wine license. They've responded to this RFP and are looking for your consideration of their proposal. And Johanna can answer any specific questions about why this is in Chelsea's interest to do. Obviously, other than freeing up another license.
Great. Questions?
I have no questions.
Questions?
Oh, I have no questions. Except, how's it going since you opened?
Yeah.
It's going very well. We're very happy with how the neighborhood has accepted us. A lot of people from the neighborhood have come to experience what we're trying to do there at Kiosco with the steakhouse and seafood. And one of the main reasons of this project is because our neighbors are actually, they ask for, do you have a cocktail? We're like, no, we have only beer and wine. So I thought it was a good opportunity to go ahead and do this proposal and see if we were, able to get it at some point.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Chief, any?
No issues at all.
Okay. Open up to the public. Are there any questions? Councilman?
Leo Robinson, 83 Warren Avenue. I'm here in support of my friends. They run a very good business. I've been there quite a few times. Sometime when you go out to dinner, you like to have a martini or Doers on the Rocks. I feel when I go there, I'm a little cheated because I can't get that.
Yeah.
But it's a great place to go, very clean place, very friendly place. And I'm here in support of my friends with this alcohol beverage license. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great. Any concerns?
They currently have a beer and wine license, so would it take over if it's approved, the full liquor, or do they keep both?
It's a good question.
Well, they have 6 months if it gets approved without the home rule petition. If you guys approve it, they will have 6 months to sell that license. If not, it goes back to the city.
They can't keep the so-called pocket license, so they'll have 6 months to sell that license. If they don't, then they'll have to turn that in or they'll have to determine. They have
Which one?
Sort of an
Yeah.
interest in the one that they bought versus this one.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's granted, once, they don't get to sell that in the future. That's the city's license.
Yeah.
Thanks for explaining that.
That's a good
But for
question.
the full liquor, how long does it take for it to be in effect, if it's approved?
Well, we're still waiting for the home rule petition. This is the RFP one.
That could take a year for the home rule petition, but till then, they can use the license.
Okay, so.
So
it's
it
still-
would be immediate. I mean, they could use it would be like an immediate, yeah,
As soon as
Okay.
ABCC approves it after us.
yeah.
So there's still a waiting period then, even if it's approved by us?
ABCC got to approve it after this, yeah.
Yeah, but not, I mean, they'll just approve it the next,
I think it'll be quick because they already have a liquor license. It's not,
yeah.
not like they have to go through the hassle they had to go last time.
Yeah,
Okay.
If I may, when we were approved for the beer and wine license by this board, or commission, the ABCC asked for some clarifying information after the fact.
Right.
We submitted all of that to them. Took a little while to actually get the license after you approved it. So I anticipate that once, assuming you approve it, that when we send it up, they already have all the corrective documents in the same file, so they'll see it, and, they may ask, to repeat the same documents, but they're already readily available now.
Okay. It's good to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thanks.
thank you.
Motion to approve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
Oh, sorry, Naomi.
That's what I'm saying. The one previous wasn't approved until the home rule petition.
No, Tom said we could approve.
They can use
It was a month
it.
after we needed to approve it. After that, he goes, listen, it's not going to come for a year. You can approve everything and get, the home rule petition just means the city gets it back. The license is going to be there no matter what. The
So
license is
you guys
already
can
there.
approve it.
Yeah. I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Aye.
It's approved.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you.
it.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful
Good luck.
night. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
So we want to wait. Marnie's should be here soon.
She should.
Why don't we just vote on the other one?
Yeah.
I think everybody wanted the other one, right?
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the license for Kushala Sip Coffee.
Oh, that's what Naomi wanted to wait for Marnie for,
Oh, aye.
for the discussion.
Okay.
What do you want?
Is your phone attached to it?
Hi, folks. Sorry for the delay. We are back, and now moving on to topic number 3, discussion on a request for proposals on new licenses, and the Kushala Sip Coffee House was waiting a decision.
I mean, I guess the question is, I mean, I think there's just, the information is confusing if Cheryl says something about not getting licenses, but Tom does. So I think we all need, the information needs to be all on the same page.
My understanding is that the city has the licenses.
Right.
They are not RFP licenses until that is approved by the state legislator, which is what we are waiting for. Therefore, since we wanted these licenses to return to our community because it's what is in the best interest of Chelsea and making sure that these return to the city, we were not giving them out until that was approved by state legislator, unless there's some crazy need in the city for these licenses to go out. At this time, personally, I don't believe we have some crazy need to get more liquor licenses in the city, to give out licenses prior to those being approved. I believe it's the home run petition that we are waiting for, which is what would turn these into the RFP licenses. So in the event that these were awarded to somebody in the community and they chose to close their establishment, those come back to the city and we can give them to somebody else of our choosing, rather than them selling them to whoever they choose to sell that to, and then that coming before us that way.
Right.
So at this point, those are still held up in the state legislator. So in my conversations with our city solicitor, Cheryl, she stated that it is in the best interest of the city for us to hold off another month and wait and see what happens in the state legislature before we award these licenses. Because otherwise, if we give them out prior to that, they are no longer an RFP, they are just a standard license.
I will say that we've been waiting already, like several months, and so I understand the interest of the RFPs going back to Chelsea, although I am trying to also balance the business community, and we want to bring business to Chelsea, and, 1 minute, baby, and that if we keep waiting and making decisions on these licenses, these small businesses are not going to be successful, because this is why they're applying for licenses, is to like make money and be able to sort of stay here. So I think it's a tough balance for me. Like if we keep, and we pushed this back already like a few months for this, especially for Kushala Sip Coffee, like, and granted, luckily they haven't been 100% ready, so like fine, but we still have 5 to 7 RFPs that no one's been applying for. So the other thing is like, we're waiting for this when no one's even applying. And so it's not like we have 8 businesses that we're like,
Right.
hey, hold up. We literally have 1. So I think that's a challenge for me, is like,
And who knows when the state's gonna.
well, that's what I
vote
mean.
on
This could be
They're not
6
ready.
months, and then they're gonna
Could be a year.
close.
Right, but seeing as the one place that has already asked us for one, the Sip House, which I know that we're all in favor of this location, we now have a second one coming before us that has a beer and wine license in place. So why are we going to move on one of these RFP licenses to a place that's already in operations, already has a beer and wine license
Yeah.
that they own?
So we already voted on that, so that's already done. It could be another year. I don't feel right holding this person up for a license, I really don't.
Or any of them. I mean, there's going to be 5 other restaurants in the next year that might want to apply. So I agree. I mean, look, it's not ideal, but this has been at least a 5-month waiting for this anyway. So legislature might
9.
not do it done by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I agree, like, they're slow. I mean, we can wait another month, but who knows?
So you answered some of my questions, because I'm in the same boat where I'm trying to still understand how this works. And if we have so many licenses, no one's applying thus far. We have 2 businesses, 1 awarded, 1 pending. I want to understand, like, if we approve the Sip House, how many do we have left? And could we just wait on those
If you
instead of
already-
continue waiting and
If
waiting?
you already approved the other one, we would be left with 3 all liquor and 2 beer and wine.
Okay, and then this is different from the RFPs.
Those, if you've already awarded one to somebody, we don't have an RFP license yet, so you awarded them a license.
We
Which
did
means
ask
they
them
could
about
sell
the
it.
beer and wine license, what they're planning to do, and they said that it's still pending on the full liquor, and they have 6 months to make that decision. They haven't committed to what they were gonna do, so.
And that could come back to the city, because in 6 months, the idea of someone buying it, and we have all these ones also waiting, you know, so that beer and wine could highly likely come back to Chelsea.
I mean, again, apologize that I was stuck in traffic earlier, but I would have at least made that contingent upon giving them another license, that other license being returned to the city, before we just grant them another one. Because we may not have a bunch of people that are asking for them, but that doesn't mean that we should just give out things willy-nilly either,
But
just
they
to
did pay
anybody
for that,
that's
like, they
asking.
paid for the beer and wine. It's kind of hard to, if they paid 40,000 for it, to say, hey, give up 40,000, you know, something that cost you 40,000. Like you say, it's probably worthless now to them now anyway, but,
But you're granting them one that doesn't come back to us anyways,
right.
which is a higher value license.
I mean,
An all liquor license has a higher value than a beer and wine.
I think they're struggling now, and, you know, like they spoke about the need to have, you know, liquor, Cosmopolitan, a martini. I was comfortable making this
I
decision.
understand everyone's point. I stand by my decision of approving their license, only because they're already established, they already were vetted, they are in good standing, and I understand about the limit of number of licenses. I want to now focus on the SIP house, though. What would happen if we do approve it? Like, I understand, again, it's going to lower the amount of licenses, but I don't understand what's the roadblock of approving now and still waiting for that approval from for the state legislator.
The roadblock, if you will, is if we are doing what we said we wanted to do back in May, where we were purposely only going to permit these licenses into the city as RFPs. We're not doing what we said we were doing by giving these out prior to that. And we knew at the time that that probably wasn't going to be approved in state legislature before the fall. We knew that when we put that out, it was said back in the very beginning that we could start looking for proposals, but we did not expect state legislature to approve that prior to the fall.
Roy wanted to wait till now, November, December, because that's what he wanted. He wanted everybody to get the full year's worth of their license. Other people wanted it right away. Other people wanted 6 months. We're already over the amount that we thought we were going to wait. I'd like to vote for this, my opinion.
Well, I think the question with this one in particular, I mean, they're not here, so I'm just curious, when are they opening, like,
I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah, they
so
still
I
have
don't know.
construction things going on right now.
Yeah.
The structural thing, they got a rough inspection within a week or two after our last meetings. It can't be that much longer.
Yeah, but I wonder if even, I mean, I guess the question is the state legislature, if they're going to be done for the November meeting. I mean, that's the thing, I guess, to maybe like split the difference is we wait till November to vote on it. If the legislature is not in anywhere near making the case, then I think we can make a decision to approve it. I mean, I don't know if they even know that this is a conversation that we're having about their establishment.
I mean, I believe when they came before us over the summer, everybody that was in attendance at that meeting stated that they were in favor of that establishment,
Right.
pending the RFPs being approved. And obviously, if there was a bunch of other applications that would come before us, then we would have to review that. We obviously have not had other applications come before us. So I think everybody is still in favor of the Kushala Sip House having one of these,
Yeah,
but it was it being an RFP license.
yeah.
So they're not established now. Maybe next month they will be. We're meeting in November 10th. Can we discuss more?
We can see if there's any progress on the legislature that's been made.
There's not going to be any, you know how slow that works. It's going to be forever. I'd rather just vote on it. I'd rather make the motion if you don't, you know. I'll make the
Well,
motion.
now versus voting on November, not giving it a month?
I'd prefer, since they're still under construction, I would prefer that we do some research over the next month. We see what sort of progress is being made, if we think it's going to or not, and then look at what is involved with us giving out these licenses ahead of time, and how does that affect things moving forward. If they were already ready to go and up and running, maybe that would be different, but I don't see any reason why we can't wait until November, since they are pending construction still. And that gives us time to do some research on that legislation and see where things stand.
I feel more comfortable with that, because this is, versus the other was already established and running, they are in good standing, versus this is not even up and running, and it's not gonna hurt them, because even if they open before we meet, they're a coffee shop, so it was just have been an incentive, so I could wait and we could discuss more.
Because at the time when they were before us, my recollection is that they had planned on opening, I think, in August. And they were going to operate without the liquor license until that meeting. So it's not going to hurt
They
them.
were hot to try, and they still are. They're probably, who
Right,
knows
but
what
it's,
their
if they
problem
were going to be okay to operate for a month up until the September meeting for an answer, then they're going to be fine if they still haven't opened to wait until our November meeting. That's my opinion. Obviously, everybody has their own opinions.
I can
But-
wait. I mean, I feel this whole conversation was very informative, and I think you're right, we do need to do some more research and be on the same page, so we're ready to make a decision in November.
I just want us to stand behind what our whole goal was in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine for me.
I don't like it. I'd like to make the motion to approve it today. I'd rather get it done with. Nothing's gonna change in a month.
And you can
So
make
I
a
make the
then you
motion.
can make a motion.
If I don't get a second, I don't get a second.
So Mike made a motion to approve the Kushala Sip Coffee House. Can we get a second?
I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Someone's gotta make another motion then.
Okay. So that,
Well, do we make a motion to wait till November meeting? Do we need a motion to do that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Do we need to make a motion to discuss this at the next agenda meeting? Or, do we need to make a motion to approve, the Kanchala conversation for the next meeting, or can we just put it on the
Put
next
it on the
meeting?
agenda for the
For
next
the next
meeting.
meeting?
Yeah.
Do you want them to be here, or you don't need to?
I don't believe that we need Kushala to come before us again, because I do believe that we are all in favor, and I believe we had stated that before. So I don't see a need for them to have to come before us, but I would like us to have that chance over the next month to check in on current legislation, see what a timeline is, and if it is going to still be further out, consider next month moving forward with a license despite the delay in legislator.
Okay.
Is that okay, Mike?
It'll have to be. We absolutely have.
No,
Got a
it's
motion,
okay.
wanna make another motion?
I get it, yeah.
Motion?
The motion to put it on
To
the,
approve, yeah, for next month?
Can I get a motion to approve that going to next month's agenda and us reviewing the current legislator?
I will motion.
Thank you, Alex. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
And we know you're against.
Yes. We know you're against, Mike. Does anybody have any other business? No? Our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, November 10th at 6 p.m. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.